Hello friends, Coach Bob with you today, and today, man, have I got a great video for you, man. You know, nothing excites me more than sharing words of wisdom and motivation and sharing my friendships. And I want to talk a little bit about another channel. You know, I know a lot of folks don't really do that. They'll talk about people or maybe have an interview with somebody, a guest here and there, but so I've spoken with these wonderful folks multiple times over the years, and here recently we got a chance to meet. Now from the tag, you probably already know who I'm referring to. I'm referring to John and Miriam of John and Miriam's Travel Vlog. Now if you've never watched them and you've never seen their channel, I want you to type in John and Miriam's Travel Vlog. There will be a link down below, and if I can think about a link up here, I'll see if I can do that as well. Make sure you're subscribed to their channel. I think most of the subscribers here are, but if you're not, make sure you do subscribe to their channel. They're just wonderful people, and I want to share a little bit about, you know, what they mean to me and what we've experienced here recently. So let's back way the heck up, back to 2019. In 2019, things were changing in the Coach Bob life. I was looking at buying a sport tour and riding to California on it. Coach Vic had decided she was through in the motorcycle world. Well, you know, one thing led to another. She decided that she wanted to ride with me, but she told me she would not ride on a two-wheeler, it would have to be a three-wheeler. And after searching around, we had decided, you know, we were going to get a Spyder. I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't really sold keenly on the idea, but I'd come to the conclusion that if that's what it took to get Vicky to go with me, that it was going to be worth it. Most of you that got led here and are also subscribing to John and Miriam's channel, you know, you probably typed in Can-Am Spyder and you started looking for stuff, and you ran across me, you ran across John and Miriam, probably Beth from Ryker Rides, and Keith Hammer from Rolling on 3, and you know, Sean Smokes, and all these great people who are out making great content. But for some reason, what resonated with me was John and Miriam, and I want to talk about why I like their channel and why I like them so much. But before we get doing that, give this video a big old fat thumbs up, you know, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. So John and Miriam, the Spyder brought me to their channel. It did, and I was grateful to be there. But what kept me there was John and Miriam. You know, if John and Miriam made a video on making apple cider, I'm going to watch it. I'm just going to watch it. If they sold their Spyder tomorrow and they continue to make videos, I'm going to watch their videos. Not because of the Spyder, not because of what they're doing, but because of them. You know, I've often said that the Spyder should bring someone to a channel, but the content should be engaging, and the people should be engaging and likable in order to keep you there. You can only go with so much data, and you know, there's plenty of data out there. You can go to a web page and you can bring up all the data. It's pretty easy, but you want things in a usable, friendly, functional way, and what they did for me was they gave it to me in that way. You know, when they got their Spyder, and I watched the videos surrounding their Spyder, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about, you know, being able to slow down and relax, things that honestly weren't in my vernacular. I was not one of those guys who wanted to just cruise along. I wanted to be the aggressive track rider. I saw myself more as a statistician, the guy that would go out and do things. I wanted to review motorcycles. That's what I wanted to do, all different kinds. And John and Miriam's channel changed me. It changed me, but not just in the Spyder world. And I want to talk about a few things that make their channel so special. I'm going to save the best for last, so make sure you hang around for a little while. All right, the first thing that made their channel special was John's quotes and thoughts and feelings on things. You know, John has this way of conveying a message, and it's clear, it's concise, as with what I would expect from an aviator. You know, I'm retired Federal Aviation Administration. Now, at this time, I didn't know he was an aviator, but aviators have a way of communicating, and it's a no-nonsense, cut through the BS kind of way, but they can do it in a way that's articulate in nature, and John does that, and he does it well, and that's a very, very rare commodity indeed. When I was looking at the Spyder, I had messaged John through Facebook, and it took him a while to get back. And I was, you know, to me, you know, they were like movie stars, you know, they had subs and friends and all that, and I wasn't a part of this community. It was weird, and John was kind. I was asking, you know, should I buy a twin or a triple? You know, back then there were a lot of twins on the market, and I was thinking about buying a twin, picking one up cheap, riding across the country, and then just selling it when I got back. But it was through their channel and through a little bit of correspondence that I learned that I wanted to get the triple. I guess the rest is history on that. But that was the first thing, is John's no-nonsense, clear, concise, and yet intelligent and entertaining way to convey data and information. And he does that really, really well. So kudos to you, John. All right, number two is just how dadgum sweet Miriam is. Now, Coach Vic, don't get jealous now. Miriam is a sweetheart. She is just a sweetheart. Great sense of humor, just wonderful disposition. Just everything about her is sugary sweet. You know, I just can't say enough about it. Her tone, her posturing, her body language, all of it is just super sweet. There are those people that just put off this vibe the very first time you see them. And when I say see them, I'm not talking about in the physical realm. That's what I picked up over the internet, was how sweet that she was. She was smart. She had a great way of putting things. And you know, as a guy who likes to do camera work and music and all kinds of things like that, I know how irritating I am to Coach Vic. Now, I'm not going to say that John would ever irritate Miriam, but if he's like me and he tries her patience, and you know what I'm talking about, Miriam has this great way of just not showing it. She has this way of just absorbing all of this, and I don't believe she's hiding it. I believe it's her nature. Her very nature is to nurture, and it's sweet, and it's wonderful, and it's one of the enormous things that bring me back to their channel week after week after week after week. I've been watching them for years, and I felt like I knew them before I met them, and that is just super cool. You know, another thing I love about Miriam is she has this honesty without it being abrasive. You know, John, I think, might not have wanted to spend $1 gazillion on a showy helmet, but she needed a showy helmet. And she had this way of just saying, I'm getting the showy helmet, without it being ugly or presumptuous, you know. And I love that kind. See, those little things that you see in the relationship make it so sweet. And without John's no-nonsense, analytical nature, and Miriam's sweetness and clarity and communication, and still being able to nurture through all of that, man, it's what makes their channel magic. Now I'm going to share what I consider the most important thing that has brought me back to their channel over the years. And before I even do that though, I want to share some footage with you here in just a second. When they did their Asphalt Odyssey this year, they trailered the Spyder, and their whole type of travel took on this kind of metamorphosis this year. It was different for them, right? Well, I had the honor of, I've got a little house, as you guys know, up in Georgia. I had the honor of them staying in my little home. And I was so excited. I was so excited for them to stay there. It just meant the world to me. And we got to meet in a little town called Quitman, Georgia, and have lunch. And here's a few pictures of that lunch. All right, so we have had lunch and it's been wonderful, but let me go in and show you a couple of beautiful ladies, man. You're going to be blown away with this.
Well, hello there. Close up, close up.
That is two hot mamas right
Well,
there.
where's missing somebody? Where's the other person?
Well, I wanted to make sure that John and I were in this because the beauty meter.
Oh.
We didn't want to mess up the beauty meter.
You did good on the beauty meter. You got two faces really close.
You can see the pores. It may not be a good thing.
John is back. Now, the reason I want to make sure that I only got the ladies because they are so hot. John's got it. Is that a camera? Or are you happy to see me? So, John, welcome to Whitman, Georgia.
It is great to be here. Great hanging out with you guys. Coach man! Look at these guys with these cameras. People think we're crazy.
Absolutely, we are. All right, I want to tell you guys this, and I've already done some talking while I'm riding. But I want to let you know, John and Miriam, if it weren't for them, there would be no Coach Bob 3 channel. Wouldn't happen. So if you're watching this and you are not a subscriber to John and Miriam's channel, you need to go over there right now and do it because you're really missing something special. I'm not talking about the Spyder. I'm talking about John and Miriam. They're special. So if they impact you half as much as they did me, who knows? You could be making $20 a month on YouTube too.
We had a great lunch with John and Miriam. Yes, we did.
What did you have?
I had the fajitas.
Was it healthy?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, pretty good.
What's that sound?
What sound?
It's the sound of me getting fatter. That's what the sound is. You don't hear my pants stretching?
No, not the close up.
Here. Action close up. You ready? Ah! I get over here. The fisheye effect. Vicky hates it when I do that. It looks like a great time, doesn't it? You know why? Because it was. You know, we didn't run a lot of cameras during this probably 3-hour lunch. In fact, they were getting ready to close the restaurant because they closed after lunch. We got there when they opened up, and we were there when they were closing up for lunch. It was, I would have stayed there all day had we been able to. I really just enjoyed their company. Everything that you see online with their channel, it's true. It's true. And that authenticity is just really rare and special. And that authenticity could be enough, right? That could be enough. That could be the pinnacle, the icing on the cake. But it's not. As if that wasn't good enough, which it is, there's something even better. And this is the magical thing that makes their channel so spectacular. The love they have for each other. You know, I know I'm going to sound sappy, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay sounding sappy. There's a video, and I don't know that I can find it, but it made such an impression on me. Years ago, John was getting ready to back out of the driveway on the Spyder, and Miriam ran out the front door and was like, "Wait a minute, mister. You don't leave without giving me a kiss." And John had to take his helmet off and give her a kiss. It was the sweetest thing. In fact, you know, I paused that video, backed it up. Vicky was in the kitchen cooking lunch or supper, and I'm like, you got to stop for just a second. You have to see this before I go to the next video. You just have to see this. And she stopped what she was doing in order to go into the office and watch that little kiss. And it was special. They're special people. They're just special people. So if I haven't convinced you yet, then you're not convincible. I do want you to do me a favor just before I make this left turn and head down towards the lake. Give this video a big old fat thumbs up. I mean a big old gigantic fat thumbs up. You know, if you got a dadgum, eat a teaspoon of salt so your thumb will swell up. That'll be all right. Anyway, enough of my sales pitch, and subscribe to the channel, dadgummit. All right. I want to share one thing about our conversation about John and Miriam before we go. I asked them a question because I struggle with some things. You know, you guys know I keep it real. But the one thing that I see that John and Miriam do way better than I do, is when they travel, their travels not just revolve around places and things, their travels revolve around people. And they do a magical job at that. And I am trying to learn from them. You guys know I love people. I love people. I love being around people. And anybody who's met me knows I take the time. I'll have the conversation. I'll have the coffee. They have done an annual meet and greet up in Shenandoah Valley, I believe it is. And they are, you know, they are having so many people. I told them, you're going to have your own motorcycle rally before you know it. They're just so kind that people want to be around them. They have a magnetism about them. And I asked them, how do you find in your busy travel schedule time to visit with everyone and time to do all of these things? Because when we travel, it seems like we're always pushing. And the conclusion I came to is that they just love it. And that is awesome. Let's look at this beautiful lake real quick. Isn't it nice down here, man? It is so pretty. All right, sit here in the shade. He's getting ready to pull that boat out. I just love riding down here. I just love it. The ride down here is beautiful. The scenery when you get here is beautiful. The people are sweet. It's just a wonderful thing. But back to John and Miriam. There again, it's their authenticity. It's the fact that they really, really mean it. They really, really do want to spend time with people. I think it's great, and I love watching it. There's just so many differences that we have, and yet there's this connection. And I know you could say, well, it's the Spyder. It's not the Spyder. The Spyder connected us originally, but the connection is them. So if you don't subscribe to the John and Miriam Travel Vlog channel, you need to go over there right now and do it, because they are quite wonderful. All right. Well, there you have it, another one in the books. John and Miriam, I hope you're not embarrassed by me bragging on you so much. I just want you to know what you mean to me and how great it was to have lunch with y'all. And it was an honor. It was an absolute honor. Thank you for sharing a little piece of your life with Coach Bob, Coach Vic, as well as with the Coach Bob 3 channel. All right. All right, so you do me a favor, you go out, buy the motorcycle of your dreams, eat right, take care of yourself, and remember, if you're not having fun, you are definitely doing it wrong. Now you go seize the day, and I will see you on the road real soon. Don't forget to connect with Spyder people and give them a big old hug.